Welcome to another episode of Awaken Now What? I'm your host, JR.
And I'm your co-host, Helen. Awaken Now What is a podcast that illuminates your spiritual awakening and ascension. Today we have our guest, Laura. I'm going to butcher your last name.
Yeah, I don't want to say it either. How do you say it, Laura? Petkunaite.
Yeah, something like that.
Gotcha. Something like Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about alternative healing, but not just any alternative healing. It's electrodermal screening. Now, Laura, explain to the listeners what exactly that is.
Electrodermal screening is type of alternative or holistic medicine that we're using acupuncture points. We're putting small direct current on acupuncture point, and we're measuring the resistance of the point. So this is how it works, like basically. But what is this? This is a program, like it's based on physics, not chemistry, but on physics. And we can measure the imbalances in meridians, and it helps us to find the root cause of the symptoms, of the illnesses. But usually we're talking about the symptoms because this is not the device to diagnose something. This is device to help to find the imbalances. If this is degeneration or this is like inflammation in meridians. So this helps us to know that.
That is great. And these meridian points, right? They're on your hands, they're on your feet.
Yeah.
They're each tied to specific organs within your body,
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. For example, if you want to measure lung meridian, right? You starting to measure lung meridian points. If you want to move to like liver meridian, you checking the points from the foot. So it depends.
What sparked your interest in electrodermal screening?
Basically, I used to have health issues for myself, and I was very skeptical. I went to a medical university. I used to work with scientific researchers. I used to speak in conferences. But then my health just started broken. And my boyfriend at that time, he suggested me to let's try something alternative, like, because you see, no one from Western medicine couldn't help me. They were prescribing me medications like anti-epileptic drugs, anti-inflammatory drugs, like all kind of drugs. And I didn't feel better. So he just suggested me to let's try something. And I was like, okay, I don't believe in that, but I will do that. Like, I'll do that for you. And then we stopped to talk about that. So yeah, I found one lady in Lithuania in Europe. She's doing electrodermal screening. And I was like, what is this? But okay, I'll try. So I went there. Actually, it made like I was laughing there. I thought, oh my God, it's not going to work, like, for sure. She told me some things that I was like, okay, how can you know that? But I was like, okay, it's not going to be like the thing that could help me. But after I decided to take the medications that she gave to me, and and after a week, I woke up without any headache because my main issue was a headaches. Like for 1 year, I felt a headaches. I couldn't sleep, couldn't study, like couldn't do nothing. And some more symptoms, but the main was the headaches that I went to that practitioner. So after a week, after the screening, after the medication, after a week, I woke up without any headache. And I was like, what's going on? I didn't change my diet, my supplements, my like Western medications or something. And how is that possible? And then 1 week, 2 weeks.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed except for the
medicine
she prescribed
started
you.
to take like energy-infused medicine, and that's it. Nothing changed beside that. So yeah, after 1 week, I woke up without any headaches. I come back to that practitioner. I asked her, how is this works? And what did you do? Then all of my symptoms start disappearing. Like I used to have urinary tract infections 3-4 times per month. But right now I'm free from that, like 5 years, maybe more.
Wow.
So everything like step by step, I started noticing like I'm feeling better and better and better, more energy, no headaches, no urinary tract infections, no nothing. And then I decided that I need to learn that. I don't want to go back to the hospital and see the same patients calling that treatment but see all the same people coming back all the time. So I decided that I need to learn that. And when I started to learn that, that was the hardest part because I need to learn in languages I don't know. Like I find some information like in German language, in Russian language. My parents actually helped me. Like I sending the text them and they translated everything for me. So of course in English. So yeah, that was crazy. This is was the start of my journey.
That's amazing. You're so tenacious. I love it. What's a favorite client testimonial you've had?
Probably it's my dad because he was very skeptical. He wasn't happy that I moved from like normal Western medicine to that holistic
Mhm.
path. And he used to has herpes all the time on his lip. And I was like, let's try that. Let's see how it works. He was like, okay, it's not gonna work. I have herpes like 20 years. So after a month and a half, right now it's almost 2 years, no herpes at all. So yeah,
That is
he told me like, of
amazing.
course, I'm sorry for that. But
Wow.
yeah,
He's
was
probably so
like,
thankful.
yeah, this was probably most thankful patient.
Wow.
Oh.
That is awesome. Just curious about its origins. Where was it
In
developed
Germany.
and by who?
In
In
Germany.
Germany.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a doctor, Dr. Folio, and
Okay.
he invented that. It was like in 90s, 50 something.
Very nice. Do you know how he developed it or what
He
methods
had
he used
I
to
know that
develop the
he had a
machine?
cancer, like prostate cancer.
Huh.
And then he started looking for healing methods, for something, like something to help him. And then he found this. And he saw
Wow.
like in the meridian, which related with that, there was inflammation, there was a really high inflammation, there was a degeneration in other
Right.
meridians. And then he found out like, okay, with different people, we have different things going on in meridians with different symptoms.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is how I was invited.
That's amazing because each meridian is connected to a different part
Yeah.
of the cosmos. And so, like, as we know, we are the universe embodied in skin suit form. And so, our each organ is connected to some part of the multiverse. And so,
Yeah.
it's easy to kind of see the balances and imbalances within our own body as we kind of project out into the universe. Um, that's amazing. That's amazing. What is the process of an actual session? What does it look like?
So at first, when person comes to my office, I'm checking with some questions with him. There is some questions about physical body, what kind of symptoms do you feel, how often do you feel, how is your energy level, like physical body. And then I usually ask people about emotions, what kind of emotions they feeling the most, because this is important, especially in Eastern medicine. Every emotion is related with our organs. And then I'm checking about people mental health and mental body. I'm asking people, what would you do if you don't have the symptoms? How is your friends or your family would describe you? What How does the symptoms affect you? So I'm asking these questions because I want to know how the mental body works. I believe that we have physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And I
Mhm.
believe that if you want to create health, if you want to be healthy, you should be balanced in all of these bodies. Yeah, usually we see the same patterns. There are some patterns when people come with chronic fatigue. We see liver meridian. When people come with anxiety, we see kidneys. When people come with grief, like with sadness, without miscommunication
Right.
all the time with others, we see lung meridian imbalances. So there is some kind of patterns in patients.
So, me, Helen, and my girlfriend actually came to visit you to record a session of electrodermal screening. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Hi, my name's Cherish. I'm here to see Laura for an electrodermal screening. I suffer from chronic fatigue. I've been suffering from chronic fatigue since I can remember. I'm always tired. I take several naps throughout the day. I've been tested for anemia several times and it always comes back negative. Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing so well, thanks.
We're coming this way?
I've never heard of an electrodermal screening before, so I'm hoping that Laura can help me get back some of the energy that I seem to have lost.
So, would you mind to tell me what is like the main complaint that you have right now?
I'm always tired. Focusing on an assignment or a task that I had to do was very difficult.
How long ago these symptoms started?
It's been happening my entire life, so.
How has it changed over time, your symptoms?
I mean, my father did pass about 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it definitely increased after that.
Sometimes when people telling me that they don't have like pretty good relationship with mom or the dad, we can notice that when people don't have really good relationships with their father, we can see that more symptoms is in their right side. Like when they don't have a good relationship with their mother, it's usually on the left side. How do you think your friends or your family would describe you as a person?
Kind, caring, loyal. Smartass.
What is different about electrodermal screening? We can find the energy imbalances in the first 3 stages. So sometimes we seeing energy imbalances in meridians when people don't feel any symptoms, because our body knows how to compensate everything.
Of course it is.
So before you feel the symptoms, there's a long way. So with this, we can see like energy imbalances in the first stages. So don't be afraid when I mention like I see some energy imbalances in your lungs or somewhere. So
I'm not
okay,
worried.
I'm gonna start with lymphatic system meridians, and the first point is your tonsils. Do you have your tonsils or are they removed?
They're still in there.
Are you feeling any like cold symptoms right now? Anything like that? Your tonsils is pretty inflamed, so that's why I'm asking, are you feeling that?
But I don't feel sick.
Yeah,
It's
you don't need to
just-
feel
they
sick
just
for
feel
that.
like
That kind of cold
so
symptoms, like
thick. Yeah.
for example, right now that I mentioned you about the right side, like the right side is related with the father and all that things. The way more inflamed is your right side right now in your tonsils. Is your period regular right now?
That's a great question. It feels regular. It happens about once a month, pretty regular.
Okay. Are you feeling cramps during
I
that?
have no cramps. It's the weirdest thing.
No, it's normal.
It's normal.
Cramps
Is
is
it?
weird.
Yeah. People start to think like headaches is normal, like cramps is
So
normal,
weird.
like yeah.
Feeling good is normal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Feeling good is normal.
There you go, Alan.
So I just checked the central vein of the liver and it's already inflamed, like yeah. So you mentioned that you're already feeling a lot of symptoms which related with your liver. So
It makes sense.
yeah. And right now I have a system. The system like depending on the points, depending on the range, the system could recommend me something. We can check blood diseases, we can check bacterial infections, I can check if there's any mold issues in the body. Yeah, so right now you saw it when I added like Epstein-Barr virus in our system. It's already in the normal range, so it means like there's Epstein-Barr virus in your liver too. Your liver is like inflamed.
Yeah.
There's too much energy there because your body tried to just boost it, to fix it, and in your kidneys there's not enough energy. And when there is not enough energy in your kidneys,
Like
you're
it's
feeling
all
anxiety, like all the time. When people do not have enough energy in the kidneys, they feel anxiety. Are you experiencing any nightmares or something?
I did.
Because this is the things that kidneys do. If there is not enough energy in the kidneys, we feel like we dreaming like nightmares and all that things.
Yeah, a lot of that happened when I was like the last couple months of my grad school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I can take the energy-infused medicine with specific frequencies and specific potency, and it could help her like to boost her liver and mental energy for that.
So what are in the little balls?
This is just sugar granules, because this is the thing that helps to keep the energy there. So yeah, when we're starting to work with like energy, with energy medicine, you can see some kind of, you feeling improvement, and then after a few days you're feeling the same, you're feeling improvement, the same. This is how it works, yeah. And then it's gonna start improving. You're taking 5 of these, waiting at least 10 minutes. You're taking 9 of these, right? For the liver, for the kidneys. Just put it under your tongue and let it dissolve. So the main things that I found out, it's like liver and kidneys meridian, which I believe I mentioned at first because of her symptoms. We can expect that because when usually we see the people with these kind of symptoms, we can see the imbalances in liver and the kidneys. So yeah, this is what we found: liver and kidneys. We have too much energy in her liver and too less in her kidneys, which makes her feel anxious, which makes her feel like tired and not able to focus very well.
That was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of information that we got learning through that session with Laura. Laura, what were some key moments in working with Cherish for you?
Okay, let me think. The
Mm-hmm.
One of the moments that I liked, I told her, like, sometimes we see that people who has not that good relationships with mom or dad, they experience the symptoms in different side of bodies. And I told her that the left side is related with mom and the right side is related with our dad. This is how it works in our body. And once I told that, Cherish was like, oh yeah, okay, that's interesting. And after a few minutes, she was like, wait a minute. Once my dad passed away, I started experiencing some things in my right side. So this was one of the moments that I really liked.
Why do you think that is? So the mother is connected to the left side, the dad is to the right. I'm just trying to think of energetic symbolism or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but why that is so fascinating, I think.
I
It's
believe that
also masculine and feminine, right? Sorry.
Oh,
it's
yes.
masculine and feminine energies, and we
Yeah.
all the time, no matter how old are we
Mm-hmm.
taking energy from our parents.
Right.
Like our left side taking energy from our mom, like feminine energy, and all that
Right.
side, my mom, my grandmother, and the right side taking energy from my father's side, my father, my grandfather, and so on and on and on and on.
So, could you say that someone who doesn't have a great relationship with uh, one or both parents, that they are susceptible to illness
Not about
or pain?
illnesses, but maybe about more symptoms could be experiencing in one specific side. Like
Hmm.
after the screening,
Okay.
we see the diagram, and we usually see in which side we have more imbalances or degeneration in
Hmm.
body, because we checking the same imbalance, same meridians in left and in right side in both of them.
Hmm.
And sometimes we see that people have, for example, more inflammation in the right side than the left side.
Interesting.
It's
Interesting.
really interesting.
There was a part in your session where you mentioned the prevalence of Epstein-Barr virus in all of our bodies. Can you share with the listeners about that?
Yeah, when we checking the imbalances, for example, we see that there's inflammation in the liver meridian. We can check what could be the cause for that, and the system can show me, like, depending on the all results that we have in all other meridians, it can show me like prediction what that could be. And then I can take the frequency of that, for example, Epstein-Barr virus, put it on our liver chain, and then see how it goes to the person body. So for example, when we work with Cherish, we saw that probably the cause of her liver meridian imbalances was Epstein-Barr virus. And
Wow.
we usually see that in people with chronic fatigue.
Question about the energy infused medicine. Can you fill the listeners in on the actual step by step process on how you develop it?
Yeah. Once you find the best treatment plan, for example, what kind of medicine do you need to implement for that body, specific person, for his best physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual abilities, you started to you change something in your device, like, and that device produce the same frequencies as I need for the remedies, and then you
Wow.
transfer the frequencies to the sugar pellets or to the water. It depends on the patient. The most common
Wow.
is sugar pellets, but when we have diabetic clients, for example, we're using water. You can use that for water, you can, and
Wow.
sometimes people using that to alcohol.
So Cherish took the energy infused medicine the very first night, and I was in my office. I was working. I was actually uploading footage from the session that we had, and she texted me. She was on the couch, and she said this was after she had taken the medicine. She put it under her tongue and let it dissolve, like you said. She's like, I don't know what it is, but I can't stop laughing. And then I asked her, can I have some?
Mhm.
She said she felt like this heavy pressure, not heavy pressure, this light warm feeling in her chest, and she couldn't stop laughing. And I actually heard her on the couch. She was laughing. I guess that amount of energy,
There's
her
a
first
big
time taking it,
frequencies. There's a very high
big
frequencies there.
frequency change. That's what it is, and it all kind of settled right here,
Her
throat
heart
chakra,
chakra was
my heart
opening.
chakra. Yeah, yeah. So she gave me one. She gave me one.
It's not gonna happen.
I just wanted to try it. I got a little jealous because she was laughing and I wanted to. But
We don't have a side effect for that. I think it's really important for the listeners too. We don't have a side effects for energy healing, for energy infused medicine. But the only thing that we sometimes can see is aggravation. It means sometimes for some people, the symptoms looks kind of improved for a few days, for a few hours, if it's not chronic condition, and then it goes down. And the one thing that you should remember, like all the time, like healing is not linear.
Mhm.
But the
Like you
first
said, it's
thing
kind of,
that people start noticing, it's increased amount of energy.
that's why she was laughing. So we're talking about all energy infused medicine compared to pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals usually treat the symptoms and not the cause. Is that correct, Helen?
Yeah, the only thing that might treat the cause is antibiotics.
Antibiotics. And even that, your gut flora is destroyed, right? And
Destroyed.
it takes, I was at urgent care. I had COVID about a month ago now. And at the time, I didn't know I had COVID. I had tested negative. I was at the urgent care, and he told me, well, you can take antibiotics. If it's not COVID, you can take antibiotics, but it's going to take your gut 6 to 8 months to rebuild itself, bacteria-wise. And I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to take that. But yeah, just the amount of harm that antibiotics can do, destroying your gut flora.
Yeah,
And
actually, in
it
my
was just,
knowledge, the only thing in Western medicine that trying to treat the cause is antibiotics.
Everything else just kind of keeps people sick.
There's no study right now. It tells about how antidepressant works, and the new study shows there's no difference. And yeah, so it's crazy, but and
it's kind of, it's depressing, right? It's,
what we do right now, we're trying to give the body energy that it needs to heal by itself. We need to do the frequencies, we need to give the energy to start healing. Because if I
right.
give the Western medicine medication or like drugs, yeah, it's gonna help me to feel better for a month, maybe two. But what's later?
At what cost? At what cost?
Yeah.
Right. Um, I thought this was really interesting when we were leaving your office and you were packing away the energy infused medicine. You packed it into kind of this foil looking bag, and you explained that radiation or other EMF frequencies can actually affect the energy infused medicine, which makes sense.
Especially
And so
extreme.
that, especially x-rays. So that got me thinking. I remember I asked you this question, how even cell phone towers have an enormous impact on our health and well-being. Is that correct?
I believe it has really, really huge impact. That's why
Right.
we're trying in our office to have like wood floors and all that things. And especially, yeah, cell phone, Wi-Fi, 5G, everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything affect us. Like the same as diet, you're putting something inside your body, food, for example, the same everything from my external environment. This is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everything affect us all the time.
Right. Because we each are emitting an EMF field, and those Wi-Fi networks, the 5G network, definitely inhibit the presence of our auric field. So what advice do you have to someone who's, say, working in an office at a desk, surrounded by all these by strong Wi-Fi connections and cell phones all the time? What would you say to them?
First of all, try to keep your vibration high. It doesn't matter what it is, music, dance, food, whatever is
Hey,
keeping the high vibration for you. And then yeah, I believe you should check your body often. You should check how it works. You should I don't mean that you should go to screening. Yeah, you should, but also what you can do, you can check how you're feeling. How are you feeling? Spend more time in nature. Like, try to find a good nature, not affected by that, but try to do that. Like, I believe that if you want to heal, you need to heal all of your bodies, and you need to understand
yeah.
that healing process is not linear. It's
Hmm.
it's kind of like that. So you can have the best supplements, the best medications for whatever, for example, for a virus. But if you're not improving in your emotional, if you're mental, in your spiritual bodies, you're probably gonna have the same in a few in a few moments. And usually, what we need to see determination in the people. We need to see that
Yes,
they're ready to heal.
Mm.
a want to,
Yeah,
the willingness.
because
Is
some
that part of
people
your assessment?
sometimes it depends on the client. Because sometimes I have clients that they're not ready to heal at all. They're used to that.
Right.
You used to feel this way,
Hmm.
and they cannot even
Hmm.
imagine how it would be if they don't have symptoms.
Right. Some people, like we talked about this over the weekend. Some people think themselves sick.
Yeah,
They get in such a low vibration where they continue to create their own illness and disease.
I believe in that for sure. Because
Right.
when we're prescribing the medication, when we're making energy infused medication, we see the differences in potencies. When there is a physical imbalance, a virus or some mechanic inflammation in the organ, we usually prescribe the lower potency. But when there's a mental things, we usually need the higher potency. It means like, yeah, our thoughts, everything has way higher vibration than our physical body.
The power of the mind through the
Hmm.
It's
through
really
what you're
important.
seeing.
You see, in my case, I didn't believe in that, but it still worked.
Right. Right. Like we talked about, because for you, it was just like you kind of dismissed it,
Yeah.
and then it worked, and then you kind of got on board with it. So after having gone through that experience yourself, how much was that experience so important to you to catapult you into spirituality and energy?
That probably was the first time when I realized that I knew that maybe there is something more, but I was super academic, super skeptical person, like basic
Yeah.
medical student. I tried to have best academic results, which I had, but I wasn't happy at all because my health was falling apart, and I was like, I was blaming everything because of that, but not myself. You know how you feel like it's not my problems. Why this for me? So
Yes.
yeah, and after that I realized there is something more, and you should understand that.
So we're here to help you bring much more business to you and to spread the knowledge of electrodermal screening. So
I just
people,
want
please
people to
pass
know
this on
that
to your friends, family.
I just want to share my story because I was like regular person, and when I started that, I see that you can heal. All of us can heal. And I saw the main difference when I was working in the hospital, when I was working with scientific researchers. I used to work with cancer, with autism. Um, and right now, I don't want to treat people. I don't want to cure people. I just want to create health for them. And I see the big difference in these words.
Big difference, huge difference.
We reached the now what portion of our episode. And Laura, if you were to leave the listeners with one piece of life advice, what would that be?
Probably that would be start looking for the causes. Start to seeing the bigger picture. Start to looking for root cause of the symptoms, because there is no way that you cannot heal. All of us can be healthy. I believe in that. And let's start normalize healthy body, healthy mindset.
Yes.
Let's start do that.
Yes. No more commercials for hamburgers or McDonald's or Burger
That would
King.
be great.
That's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Because
And
right
where can the
now
listeners?
they're normalizing headaches. They're normalizing that I'm feeling tired.
Right.
I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like the word overwhelmed is so usual right now. And everyone talks about that. This is kind of normal.
Like, no, it's not.
It's not.
Thank you for your words. Where can the listeners find you?
So my Instagram is wholeyouLA, and my email is hellohwholeyou@gmail.com.
Thank you, Laura, for being here and taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you so much.
For more healing tips, please find me and Helen on Discord. There's going to be a link in the show notes. I'm JR.
And I'm Helen. We're looking forward to chatting with you more on Discord and in future episodes.
Yes. Thank you guys for a great episode. We'll see you next time.